YouTube, what's up? G-Man here. So it's a little bit wet for riding today, so I'm inside the workshop and I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a bike check. I'm G-Man, you're watching G-Man MTB. So here's my rig. This is the 2020 Kona Process 153 CR-DL size medium. So it's the carbon version and it's the deluxe model. So before I start with everything, I'd just like to mention the most comments I get on this bike out on the trail is the color. It's called Prism Rust, and it's a sick color. It actually changes color as you walk around the bike with a different light that refracts off it, hence the prism color. So yeah, it gets a lot of looks and a lot of comments. So let's start up the front of the cockpit and let's work our way down to the back. So up the front, I have got the race base 35mm bar, cut down to 780. It's aluminium. 780 is a good size for me, and I've stayed with the original Kona grips. I was running ODIs. I felt they were a bit too fat for me, and when I was pulling the levers back after I got them set, they started to touch the glove. It's a little bit uncomfortable, so I do like the slimmer profile there. I've got the Code RSC's brakes for front and rear. Now, those who know SRAM and SRAM Code RSC's, they do have an issue with the plastic piston, the leather piston jamming, and I did have that problem, so I immediately swapped them out with the titanium version. Now they're running absolutely mint. Coming down to the forks, I've got the RockShox Lyric Ultimates, the 160mm travel up the front there at a 66-degree angle, and I've got the precious, what am I running them at? 90. Yeah, about 90, 95. And I've set the damping charger to all the mid settings, go from there, and then if I'm doing a lot more jumping, I'll ramp it up a wee bit and slow down that rebound so I'm not getting pinged off the top. So heading down the bike, the rear shock is the RockShox Super Deluxe, giving me the 150mm travel at the rear. Really easy to tune. Once again, once you've got your rebound dialed in, I never lock it out when I'm climbing, and I know a few of you guys out there watching have done this. You lock it out, get to the top of the climb, have a bit of a rest, goggles on, send it, and forget to unlock it. I've done that so many times on my mountain biking time that I just leave it unlocked, cruise up the hill. Yes, I might bob around a bit, but I hate forgetting to unlock it and sending it down a pretty gnarly trail fully locked out. So I'll leave that as is, leave it set like that. Carbon descendant cranks, they're 175mm. I'm running Crank Brothers. I love my Crank Brothers pedals. They are the Stamped 7s, small size. Coming down the rear, XO1 drivetrain, SRAM Eagle, 1x12. It's like anything, you just got to look after your gear, keep it clean, and it'll run like a dream, which it is now. And obviously, when you do get it serviced, get the gears indexed if you don't know how to do it yourself. Just keep it looking mint and keep it clean. The seat tube angle is 76 degrees, so it does match the 66 at the front quite well. It's not that steep, but I just sit up on a horn a wee bit. It's a really steep climb, and with the 52 tooth sprocket at the back, climbs like a dream. Okay, let's talk upgrades. So let's start with the hubs. So I've got the Industry 9 Hydras, rear and at the front. Those of you who know your i9s, it's got plenty of engagement, and I'll never go back to anything else. When you're changing gears, it's just on the money. You don't get that clunk clunk and you're losing that power, that down power as you're shifting gears. And obviously the sound is sick. You don't need a bell to warn anyone you're coming down the trail. Usually they hear the hubs and they get out of the way. And to match the hubs, I've got the i9 stem 40mm, and to match that up, I've got the custom cap, which is Shred Sled. The wheel set, I went with the DT Swiss EX11. So they're the aluminium version. Really durable, really sturdy, and really, really strong. So that's my bike. This is my third Kona. I think for the price range, Konas are meeting that market really, really well. I got this second hand last year for $4.5, and obviously put a few upgrades on it. I've traded up from the 134 to the 153. Obviously, as your riding progresses, you're hitting bigger and heavier stuff with a lot more compressions. You go up in travel. And in between those two bikes, I did have the 2017 Kona Supreme operated downhill bike. That was an absolute beast. But I found I rode this bike way more than run the downhill bike, because obviously downhill you can't climb with it, and it's really just a bike for bike parks generally. So let me know in the comments down below, do you think there's still room in your arsenal, room in your shed for a downhill bike? I don't know. I think the Super Enduros now, they're getting up around 180 mil of travel. They're pretty beastly, pretty gnarly. Plus with the seat tube angles, they climb really, really well for enduro bikes. So that's it. That's my bike check. I love this bike. Can't wait to get out when it dries up. And hopefully see you out there. I'm G-Man. You've been watching G-Man MTB.